Hello, welcome to the Sovereign Magazine Show, a transformational experience where conscious conversations meet embodied wisdom. Each episode invites visionary healers, thought leaders, and change makers to share their journeys of awakening, offering listeners practical tools and soul-stirring insights to reclaim their inner authority. Today we have Ebonie Allard back. We are doing an entire year about embodying your design, especially through the Kismet Code. So if you missed some of the foundational episodes, episode 1 was about embodying your design and what the Kismet Codes are. In the second episode, we talked all about your type and understanding your aura. And today we're going to be talking about your profile and understanding your conscious and unconscious personality. So without further ado, here is Ebonie. If she would like to introduce herself, she can, and what we're going to be talking about today.
Oh, I don't know what to say about myself today. What shall I say? Ultimately, my work in the world is helping you to recognize your worth and value. Aside from what you do, aside from what you know, you are inherently valuable. Every single one of us, just in who we be, is valuable. And we have layers and layers and layers of conditioning and stuff and expectations on top of that, and at this time in history, it's all changing. Contracts are changing, how we show up is changing, and we really need to remember who we really are underneath it all. And we get to be full of ourselves and on our own incarnation intentions and our soul contracts. And that is all written for us very beautifully from the moment that we turned from energy into matter from our birth date. And that dictates, how we are designed, how we're designed to operate in the world, and what we came here to experience. And it is my honor to help people come back to that in a way that is really affirming so that you have permission to drop the projections and just be full of yourself.
Yes, yes, to all of this and more. This is like something I really, really love being a part of with you and learning more about just how much we are not full of ourselves, right? We're really full of a story, either that was given to us or that's been told to us by family, society, whomever, even sometimes ourselves, we tell a story to ourselves of what we should be, right? But through embodying your design, we get to learn about like where we actually are lit up and how we're designed to move and shake in this world. So, why don't you share a little bit more about our profile and what our conscious and unconscious personality might look like?
Okay, so if you had a body graph, which we're not going to put in front of you, but most of you will have seen a body graph, you have two columns of data, one either side. And if you get my chart, big shout out for my chart because I had one of my clients say to me yesterday, oh my God, it's so helpful because I've split the colors out so that you can see your personality side, which is your natal side or your conscious side. All of those words mean the same thing. That's the side on the right hand side. And in my charts, that's blue. And then on the left hand side, we have the unconscious, the design, your vehicle, your body. It's got all of these different words and it's the same stuff. It's the information on the left hand side, which in my charts is gold. And that is from 88 days pre birth. And that in human design is when the personality is born, right? The personality is dropped into the body 88 days before we are born. And so the information on the right hand side, the personality, the mind, this is the exact same information as you would find in your astrology chart. It's the exact same information that we use when we're doing your numerology. The information on the left is different, and it's only human design that really deals with that. And then the gene keys, and there are sequences that come from our unconscious or that drop us into our body. Okay, go on. You're
Oh,
going to
I
ask
was going to say for
questions.
anybody who's like, which chart, what chart, where's the chart? Don't worry, we'll drop that link in the show notes so that you can get the chart from Ebonie. It's on her website and you just need to plug in your details in order to get it.
Great. Okay, so the profile lines come from, or your profile number comes from the lines of your incarnation cross. And we are going to talk about your incarnation cross in more depth in the next episode. And these correlate to who you were designed to be. And our profile tells us how you see yourself and how the world sees you. It gives you insight into how you were designed to interact with others and live out your life theme. And the lines of all our gates tell us about your personal flavour or approach to handling a particular area of life. So in the first instance, profile is like an interesting addition, right? A little bit extra or depth to understanding strategy and type. But profile is the theme of how you learn, and it illuminates like how you will travel on your life path, like the pieces that are important to you. And the incarnation cross tells you about your life path or the plot of your story, the story of your life. And your type is your role in the story, but the profile represents the character or the personality of your role. Does that make sense?
It does. Can I have an example though with you or me?
Yes, you
Okay.
absolutely can. So we will go. So I'm going to give you the first one more little bit of information and then we'll
Okay.
play with the different types. So profile is made up of two lines, and it comes from the numbers of the conscious sun on the personality side of the body graph and the unconscious sun on the design side. So you know that you have a line. So can you remember what the number of your sun is?
No, but I have it right here if you want me to pull it up.
It's okay, I can do mine. So mine's
Okay.
56, that's my
Okay.
sun, but it's 56.5.
Okay.
And then my unconscious sun is 27.2.
Okay.
And that makes me a 5-2.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, you mean when you say you're a 5'2" Manny Jenny, that's where it comes from?
So
Ah,
the profile
so I'm
is
a
the
1'4".
5-2. Yeah, and that's an
Okay.
unusual type. Not as it's not as common as some of the others, right? And so there are that doesn't mean anything, by the way, if you're going, oh, what am I? Is that a common one? Because that's another thing that happens. There are just some people that play very pivotal roles, and there's fewer of them. But we all have our own nuances and we all have things that make us completely different, right? But
Mhm.
so yeah, if you're looking at the numbers at the top of your body graph, the four numbers that make up your incarnation cross, the lines of those top two will be the same on this side, so that it's 5-5 for me, and 2-2 on this side. And so for you, it'll be the line 1 in both of those numbers and line 4. And so if you're a 1-3, it would be a 1 on this side and a 3 on that side. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the so the lines are the numbers that come after the gate number. So for example, in like 45.2, that would be a 2 line, and it's conscious first and unconscious second.
Okay.
So the personality side correlates with our conscious mind. And so it's likely that you have more awareness of it. Whereas our design side is our unconscious, our body, it's autonomic. And so it's likely that we're slightly less conscious of aware of it at first. And together they make up an archetype that is your personality type, one that is not subjective, but one that is based on neutrinos.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
often we see ourself as the one that is more conscious to start with, and
Okay.
others see us as the other one.
Got it.
So do you think so? You're a one line first, right? You're a one line in your mind. And so the one line, which is the investigator, is about exploring, understanding, it's the architect. That's what, yeah, like that lights you up. You're like, yes, I'm familiar with this. This is part of my personality, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm a huge investigator. Yes. Love to research. Like it actually calms me down.
Exactly that, because the one line is all about safety. The one is like the first one in the room, right? And it's like, oh my gosh, what's going on here? And so it needs to investigate everything. And then it needs to share that information. And we trust the information that you give us because it makes you feel safe, so it makes us feel safe.
Hmm.
And we
Hmm.
choose our one lines, right? You pick a one line whose information you trust.
Hmm. Yeah. Like I wouldn't put anything out there that I didn't do a thorough investigation on or
Whereas I'm a two line, right,
uh-huh.
in my body, but my two line does absolutely zero research, if you like. It's the hermit, it's flow, it's about knowing, it's the natural, it's the dancer. And it's like it just naturally comes to me. And part of that naturally comes is I know who to ask. Like,
Mm,
do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, but I know someone who does. Give me a second. And then instantly I'll be able to connect with that person. That's part of the natural, it's part of the flow.
mhm, mhm, mhm,
So you've then got a four line, which is the
mhm,
opportunist, which
mhm.
is about sharing, uniting, and it's often called the attractor. But really, that's also about stabilizing. And that's about stabilizing the community.
Mhm, mhm.
And it's about heart, right? It's about how do I create safety for us all?
Yep. Did you
So
see my post? You're gonna laugh if you have not.
no, I have not.
You haven't seen it? Oh my gosh. Wait till you see the post in the community. My post today is what are we all going to do and who buys into the matrix because we've done a bunch of polling, if you will, and 100% of people don't want to buy into the matrix anymore. So how can I create a safe community for everyone?
And that's something that you will go and research, right? And
Hmm.
then like then you'll come back and you'll share that for the community. So, but that four line, just to come back to this point of like it's less obvious to start with. If I had said to you, like, it's all about community, it's all about group, it's all about network, you're meant to be like the heart and soul of a community when you were younger, would you have gone, no, I'm an introvert?
Yes. Well, I'm still that way. If you notice, I don't like to be super visible
Well,
on
that's because you're an introvert, you're a 1-4,
yeah.
right? But so the four line is less obvious to you, but it's really obvious to everyone else, right? Like they feel that attraction field. And so for me as a 5-2, right, like it's not that it's not a part, like we know it's there, but I know I've got something important. I know I've got something important to say. I know I'm a heretic. I know that the way I share a message will land with
Mm-hmm.
people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I have to be given, but are we really insecure about, but I've got no research, I've got nothing to back it up, I don't know how I know it, I've always just known it. That's the two line. So there's that piece that we grow into our our profile. We grow, we work with it, we have a role to play, and these come from these six lines. And the first three lines are intrapersonal. So they're about self and how one understands the world around them, how one learns and creates meaning.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second three lines are interpersonal. And so they're about the outside world and how one is designed to relate to people around them.
Okay, so when you say lines, do you mind if I just pop mine up here?
Go for it.
Just so that people have a reference point.
Hmm?
Okay, so these are the lines you're talking about, right?
So the line is the number up 1 to 6 after the point. So
Right.
you've got 61 point and then yeah, and then 62 point that
Uh-huh.
one. So those are the ones I was talking about. And when we're looking
Right.
at the incarnation cross, we're looking at these top four numbers. So the 62, 61 and 62 and
Mm-hmm.
32 and 42. And so those
Mm-hmm.
are 30. 42.4 and 42.4. So when I said talking about a line,
Hmm.
talking about the number after the point, that
Okay.
means a number that's between 1 and 6.
Okay. And
So
when,
you are a 1-4 because of those ones and those fours.
right, but you said something about 6 lines. So when you said 6 lines, is it 1, 2, 3,
No,
and 1, 2, 3?
no,
No.
no.
Okay.
This number after the point could be
Hmm.
1, it could be
Through
2,
6.
it could
Okay,
be
got it.
3, it could be right. And the lines are, so when we refer to the first line, the second line, the third line, these are come from the hexagram, come from the I Ching, and they were chop marks originally, and so that chop mark became line, and so that's where the line comes from. And the
Mm.
astrological symbols, so let's say um Pisces, that has Pisces is an archetype and it lasts about a month as we travel through it in time. The sun is in Pisces for about a month, but each month it has 5 to 6 archetypes that it passes through,
Mhm.
and each one of those archetypes it's in for about 6 days. So the first day, so if you're a 61, the, the sun was in 61, was it in 62? It doesn't matter.
Is the first one the
Yeah,
sun? Okay,
yeah,
so 61, and then the
yeah,
second one was
yeah.
62. Okay.
Okay, so the sun is
Okay.
61. The
Hmm.
sun was in gate 61, and it was the first day that it was in 61 when you
Got
were.
it.
The next day it would be 61.2, then
Got it.
61.3, then 61.4. And each one of these lines has a unique flavor.
God, it's
Next week,
so.
we're going to go into the sun and then the earth, and I'll tell you about each one of those placements and how important they are and what they refer to within you. But the one line is the investigator. And like you said, that's about exploring, understanding. It's the architect. The 2 line is the hermit, and that's about flowing and knowing and dancing and saying no, actually, to have time alone to hermit so that it can commune with spirit, with God. And then the 3rd line is the explorer, and it's the experimenter. It's about playing. It's the dynamo. Sometimes it's called the martyr, but it has to try things out in order to know what doesn't work. And it's,
Mm.
for me, it's that Montessori energy, right? Like it has to touch everything with its hands in order to know what works and what doesn't work, right? So it's that playing, touching, experiencing, and is very like, yeah, it has to go out in there, and it's very dynamic. And then the 4th line is the opportunist, and that is about sharing and uniting and stabilizing, and it's the attractor. The 5th line is the messenger, and so that's here to lead, express, and teach. And the 6th line is the adept, and that's about envisioning, modeling, and it is also known as a role model. And the 6th line is on the roof, so it's almost in the next sign. And
Mm.
so when you are a 6th line, we also want to look at what gate comes next. So it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, as you've seen as I've been sharing them throughout the year. They go through a mandala, they go round a wheel. And so when you're a 6th line, you also want to have a look at what comes next because you have a little bit of that energy in your personality as well.
Wow, this is so in depth.
And then people just go, "Oh yeah, I'm a projector." And I'm like, "What kind of projector? What's your profile line? What are you here to project?" And they're like, "Oh, I don't know. I'm just not allowed to work." No, that's not true at all. There's some nuance here. And this is why, like, when you come and work with me, how can you not fall in love with yourself when I give you this much detail? You're like, "Oh my gosh, yes, this is me." Most
Mm-hmm.
people are not living the life of their dreams because they don't know themselves well enough.
Mm-hmm. And that's really true. It was when I found my human design that I got the download for Sovereign. I
Mm.
was searching and searching and searching, and I wasn't quite there. And then somebody told me one line that I wasn't supposed to be the face of my business, that I'm here to uplift
Mm.
and build community and all of that. And I'm like, yes, that feels so good. I want to do more of that. Like, I don't want to be the face.
Well, it's really interesting because I have like little names that I've given each profile, right? So there are 12 profiles, and they all are, there are one, two, three, four, five, six that are a right angle personality, so a personal destiny. And then there are one, two, three, four, five that are a left angle profile or a transpersonal destiny. And then there is one fixed fate, and that's a juxtaposition, right? So we have 12 in total. And so yours is a personal destiny, and mine is a transpersonal destiny. And it's neither again are right or wrong or good or bad. They've got nothing about, I qualified into this personality in this life. It just doesn't work like that. But they are different and they play different roles within our society.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to know what they're called?
Yeah.
So the 1-3 profile, I call the establisher of knowledge and truth. Do you know any 1-3s?
I don't think so.
So this is quite a common one, and there are a lot of, particularly in the well-being space or in your world, I imagine, because there are lots of people who are here to establish knowledge and truth, right? And so if you think about those two lines, the one line is the researcher, the investigator, and the 3 line is the like try it out, try and break it, get my hands on it. So they are an establisher of knowledge and truth.
Okay.
The next one is the 1-4, and that is the omniscient teacher. And the thing is, you are all, we may not see your face, but we know you're there. You're in all of it. You are teaching us by showing up in all of it. You're always teaching.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so for me, because it's that, you're stabilizing knowledge. You're
Mm-hmm.
stabilizing what you know to be true.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then we have the 2-4, which I call the easy breezy genius. And so that's naturally stabilizing, right? Natural attractor,
Okay.
flowing with attraction. Then we have the 2-5. The 2-5 is the reluctant hero because they have that natural messenger, right? But they're like, oh, do I have to? I'd rather be a hermit. I just want to be on my own. But they've got something to share, and so they will go and share it.
Right.
The
Right.
3-5 is the rebel for a cause.
I think I know 3-5. Yeah.
3-5s are, in my experience, um, very chatty and have a lot to say, but they are not always hugely confident about it. They might go, no, I'm not, no, I'm not. And that's often the 3 line in that martyr in their head of like, oh, I always get it wrong. I always say the wrong thing, or, that kind of thing, because they've got to go through the experience and decondition that they are here to have fun. Once they own that 3, they're so fun and so great at sharing things in a really fun way.
Is Danny a 3-5? Because that to me summed up Danny.
Danny
No?
is a 4-6, and
Oh,
when we get there, we've got 2 more to go
okay.
before we get there. The 4-1, this is the fixed fate, that is the bridge. And the 4-1 is neither a personal profile, personal fate, or a transpersonal fate, and so they sit in between, and it's called a fixed fate profile in the juxtapositions because it's really a mediator or a bridge between different worlds, between different times. And then the 4-6, which we have a lot of in community spaces because the 4-6 is the networking role model. I call it the regal authority figure because all of their opportunities come from their network and everyone in their community loves them.
Mm-hmm. That's her. Mm-hmm.
So that's the 4-6. Then the 5-1 is the challenge solver. The 5-1 is that there's a lot of 5-1s in teaching positions, in coaching positions, because if give them a challenge, they will solve it. And that again is because it's the messenger of the research, right?
Oh, okay. Okay.
The 5-2 is the self-motivated hero. I'm a 5-2. The 5-2 has to, no one else can motivate a 5-2. The only person who can motivate, you can guilt a 5-2 into doing stuff for you. But in truth, because they're really great at rescuing people, solving problems, getting stuff done, they often want to be the hero and save the day because being a hero can be quite addictive, but actually no one can motivate them, right? They're self-motivated. Then we've got the 6-2, which I call the exemplary human, and that is sometimes called the role model. Well, it's the adept and the natural, because it's got the role model energy and then the natural, or that kind of talent energy, or the hermit energy, and so they are the exemplary human, and they very often get caught up in thinking they're a 5 because they hear that role model and they're like, oh, I've got to go and give the message, I've got to tell everyone how to be, I've got to teach. And they're not here to teach, they will impact by being. And so it's
Mm.
often the way that they live their lives that impact us.
Mhm, mhm.
And then the last one is the 6-3, and that is the responsible adventurer. And they can have it really tough because they've got the 3 line 3 times in this kind of a way, right? So they often feel like all they do is make mistakes, but they really want to get it right. So they go again and they go again and they go again, and they have this um yeah, really responsible energy, and they have to try everything out. And so I call them the responsible adventurer. So there you have the 12 lines. I have so much more to say about this, but we're probably going to run out of time. So do you feel like you have a bit more of an understanding of the conscious and unconscious part and how it makes up what the profile lines are?
I do. I do. And I love that you were able to share how much it lights people up when they actually know, just hearing if you're a reflector or manifestor or whatever. Okay, that's like one little tiny part of the equation, but knowing this part really helps you because when you said I'm the researcher, I'm like, yes, I am. It like really lights me up. I love it so much. And it's really important to know the conscious and unconscious parts or aspects of ourselves so that we can continue to reveal ourselves in our most authentic way.
It really is. And for me as a 5-2, right, like I said, it was conscious and unconscious. It's like I never realized how much space and alone time I needed because everyone's always like, oh, you're so chatty. You're so chatty. You're so sociable. You love being in groups. I'm like, I do not. But over time, I was like, well, I do. And then I once said to my brother, I love being in groups as long as everyone's there to see me talk.
There you go. That's okay.
Yeah, because that's what they came for, right? They came
Yeah.
to see me talk, which is that 5 line. And afterwards, my 2 line, my hermit needs to just go and stop, and that's my body. And when I got my ADHD autism diagnosis, and I often believe that they only really express if we're not living in alignment with our true design, the less desirable sides of these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the autistic burnout is me not honoring the 2 line in my body that needs complete silence and no phones, no screens, no TVs, no books, just in nature. And if I go on retreat and I can hold space for like 30 people for 5 days, absolutely no problem. Like 10 hours a day, I'm just there, I'm on. Afterwards, I need like 2 days in nature, completely alone, often silence, and then I'm ready to go again. But
Mm-hmm.
understanding these pieces about ourselves can really help us understand what we actually need in order to be healthy.
Yes. And then we'll move into your incarnation cross and activation sequence so that we can understand our life's theme, right?
Yes, and these particular numbers, again, they serve a purpose within this, right? And I'm all about alchemy, and so there's a sequence. And if you think about old or ancient texts, they always used to be said, and it's one of my favorite lines, is about the Kabbalah. You were not allowed to be married to study the Kabbalah because it would be too much of a distraction and you wouldn't be there for your partner. And it's all consuming, right?
Yeah.
And often these ancient texts are written in such a way that you just can't absorb them until you're ready to. And I definitely had that with the Gene Keys, right? When I first started reading the Gene Keys book, I was like, why? can I not absorb it? Like I'd read the same sentence over and over again, it just wouldn't go in. And in contemplating them in order to make the deck that I made, which, well, that's fascinating. Um, in order to make the deck, and I sat with each one and really felt it and then drew it. Now, when I read it, it all stays in.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so we need to learn this information and then apply it in order for it to really stick. And that's why I break it down into chunks, and why in my signature course, Embody Your Design, that's what we do. I give you experiments, I give you things to go and do each week. And we do 4 sprints of 6 weeks. And then we get negative space, we get downtime. So I can rest and calibrate, you can rest and recalibrate, and then we come back in. And it's beautifully subtle. And we take people layer upon layer deeper into their own design.
Mm, so good. And for anybody who is so new to this, or even if you're not and you want more of Ebony because her aura is amazing. She has a free monthly call in our community, community.sovereign-magazine.com. She also has an amazing book to help you navigate all of this. Is that your soul contract book? I think is what it's called, right?
Called My Soul Contract Cheat Codes Guidebook. And the reason, in there, just last thing, because otherwise we would just take up too much time. But in there, I have written it all out and made it really beautiful, which is my favorite thing to do, so that this is not just another book that you use as a doorstop. You actually want to write in it. But I've left space for you to write in it, because something very different happens when we write our own information in. Now, if you write on paper into the physical book, it activates your RAS, which is your reticular activating system, and that then looks for evidence and proof to show you what you need to see in order to really land it in your body. It's similar if you do it online. It's not the same, but it's similar. And so there's also a fillable PDF version if you want. But when you just get a report, or when you ask ChatGTP, or when you just have a reading with someone and they give you all of the information audibly, because you're not doing anything with it,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
land in your body. So unless
Mm-hmm.
I tell you to repeat it back,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you won't remember it. And so
Mm-hmm.
this is why I really create tools, not to make me sound or look good, but to make you take agency and ownership of your own design.
Yeah, and this is on my list for this year because I really want to go deeper into it because I have that problem. We've talked about it before that I just can't remember. Finally, remember the 1-4. One that took me about, I don't know, 5 years to remember. I could remember the generator, but that was it. And then I'd always have to look up, am I 1-5? Am I a 1-4? No, it's a 1-4. I get it now. So, okay, perfect. Well, if you want to ask her a question, she's in our community, community.sovereign-magazine.com.
I love a question. Come bring me a
Yeah.
question.
Yes, you're really good at responding too. All her details are in the show notes. Also, to get your free design and then her contract book as well, soul contract guide, I should say. So, and then we will see you on the next one for understanding and embodying your incarnation cross. So definitely like, share, subscribe, comment below if you want more of this. All right. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one.